Limited Scholars, and it's an organization that provides partial scholarships to students to go to private and independent high schools here in Chicago. We match them up with a mentor from the business community, and then we provide a 4-year curriculum in terms of high school preparation as well as academic and college readiness workshops. We attended a couple of things actually, but one of the biggest ones, and I think our big introduction to the world via emPOWER Chicago was at the high school resource fair that happened in October. I mean, we stayed busy those 2 days. We gave away a lot of information, and it worked out really well because our application is typically due in the middle part of November. So that event happened in October, and then we were able to really get a lot more people in our pipeline from that. And we met a lot of folks who had 7th graders and 6th graders, so they got that information early, so they'll be prepared for this year and next year as well. Resources are crucial. So that's really the secret, right? So you can do everything right. You can every night read to your student, you can go on cultural experiences, you can send them to the right schools, you can do all that kind of stuff. It's all about supplementing that, right? So if parents know that there's a place that you can go to help you pay for the high school that you want your student to go to, that's a resource. If parents know there's a test organization that can prepare you for that 7th grade test or the ACT or the SAT, that's a resource. And those who are most successful, they don't do this stuff on their own. So they're connecting their kids and themselves to resources so that they can enhance what they are already doing. So to have a hub, a sort of a central place for parents to go to say, I have concerns about, healthcare, boom, that's a place to go. Or I have concerns about education. I have concerns about all these sort of things that our youth are facing today. They need a central place to be able to go. I know that you guys have an app. Actually, I have the app on my phone. Those sort of things that make it quick and easy because there's so much information out there. It's overwhelming for anybody. So to be able to say, hey, let me go to emPOWER Chicago, let me pull up exactly what I need, and to know that there are going to be multiple resources there, it's crucial. It's crucial to the pipeline process, absolutely. The Chicago School Fair, for example, gave us a really broad reach to the Chicago community. Because there were, I know thousands and thousands of people that were there. We gave away a lot of material. And so folks came to the table saying, oh, what do you do? I didn't hear about this organization before. So I think what it allowed is for folks to know Link as an organization, which we love folks knowing Link Unlimited Scholars. But I think it also opened up to parents their mind to say, wait a minute, there are resources that will allow me to have more of a high school option. So even if their student doesn't qualify for Link Unlimited, because we serve all African American families, but we were able to be a resource to say, but there's an organization like Daniel Murphy Scholars or HFS Scholars that supports more than one type of cultural background. So those families were able to say, okay, I'm stopping here, and then they were referenced to another organization by that table. I heard some of my colleagues at high schools doing the exact same thing. Hey, this is what we offer. If a family says, well, I think my son or daughter would be better fit at a smaller school, you saw people behind the table saying, oh, okay, you should go over to that booth and talk to that person. So it really became this sort of community space to share resources without folks being like, no, just come to my table, only do that. It was really sort of a collective effort on it. So I think to pull everybody from high schools and for-profit organizations and not-for-profit organizations in one space so that families can get multiple messages about what's available was genius. It was a great idea.
One of the things that I've really liked about the emPOWER Chicago movement is that parents came together. I've never seen as many parents in one location where they get all the resources that they require, that they need, and being able to not only get the resources but connect with other parents who may have the similar situations going on so they can be able to talk it out as well as get resources on top of it. What I like is having a base where they can all come together in a nice environment where they don't have to worry about anything over their shoulders, anything coming out of the norm. So it was a really good experience, and I really enjoyed it. And if I'm able to be resourceful and give back to those who need the services, I'm able to do that. My session was about college readiness and scholarship opportunities. And I talked about some of the educational programs we have within our education department at the Chicago Urban League, and really got to show them the continuation of services that we provide from 6th through 16th grade, and what the benefits of those programs are and how they're free, and just to give them more information if they had additional questions.
I'm the founder and director of Ivy League Tutoring. This is our 32nd year. We were organized in 1983, and over the course of that time, about half of all the blacks from Chicago and suburbs who've won state or national academic competitions have been our students at one point or another. I think Parent Power Chicago is wonderful. Everything that I have participated in, which they have done, has been very well done. I thought the school fair, which replaced the Board of Ed's high school fair and the new schools fair, and then broadened it to include private schools and parochial schools, was done better than it's ever been done. Far better than those fairs were done when the Board of Ed did them. I liked the summer resource fair that you had. It was very good. And today has been very good. I just think this is something, Parent Power Chicago, is something that Chicago needs.
We run test prep courses and individual tutoring for the entrance exams for 7th and 8th graders for Chicago's selective enrollment high schools, parochial high schools, and independent high schools. I mean, at least with respect to the high school process, it's so confusing. So the more resources, the better. This is so important that parents do know what's going on so they can give their children more opportunities to get into the best high schools or whichever high schools they'd like to choose. So I mean, absolutely what Parent Power Chicago is doing is extremely important. Providing all the resources is, I mean, essential to helping the parents and so forth. This is exactly what my organization, my company should be involved in. So I guess it's a little bit of happenstance, but wonderful, since now I'm really excited to be involved with the organization. I've dealt with Aisha Seals several times, so it's been wonderful. Everyone I met's been great, so.
Well, I know that it's about parents taking the lead in helping their children succeed, and I really like that concept because I think the educational system kind of creates a real separation between kind of the parent responsibility and the teacher responsibility, and when parents really kind of empower the family and the household to really understand that, you know, we are responsible for our own education, our own success, and that it takes a village to run a child, so to speak, that we're creating community in a world where there's so much disconnection and separation. And to me, that's kind of what I get from Parent Power. Also, just the idea of the resource hub, I think, is really cool. That, you know, there's so many resources and so many great ideas and so many organizations that are doing great work, but if you don't know where they are and how to find them, it's irrelevant. And to me, that's the power that I saw when I went to the website and I met those ladies, because they were able to, you know, pull it all together and not only empower parents to take the lead, but give them the resources to seek out to really help them do that, to support their families and their children.
I'm Robin Robinson, and I am a journalist here in Chicago. I've covered a lot of education issues, been into a lot of Chicago public schools, charter schools, private schools. Better yet, I have 3 children, and the youngest is a senior in high school now, so I can consider myself experienced, both good and bad. Here at Parent Power Chicago this morning, this parent empowering activity is amazing. I wish that I had had the advantage of this. I at least had the advantage of being able to go out and find and pay for resources, and often wondered, what do people do who have less money than time? I happen to be fortunate enough to have had more money than time, but you know, there are things out there. You just have to be connected to it, and to see these parents come and want to be connected to it, that's the beginning of the end of students not getting what they need. Parents get involved, look out. You can't wait on CPS, you can't wait on charter organizations, you can't wait on Congress. We know that things are not exactly right. In fact, they're exactly wrong in terms of the public education our children are receiving. Too many black and brown children come out at the bottom and they stay there, and that's not right. So once parents realize that they are like powerful, like that's the most powerful force on the earth, they are the United Nations, and if they unite, they really will change the nation. So to find out, you know, about yoga, about breathing, because these parents are stressed, okay? Parents that have everything they need are stressed. So imagine not having what you need. in terms of choices for excellent schools where, you know, everybody succeeds, or in terms of choices for dinner, whatever it may be. Imagine the stress of that. So to learn some stress reduction techniques, it may seem like a small thing or a gimmick. It's really not. It's been proven that there are physiological, I'm just talking on and on, but there's so many things that happen here. There are things that happen to you physically when you're stressed, and you can't imagine the stress of some of these parents on an everyday basis because they have so few choices. And like any parent, even the parent you think is not doing what they're supposed to do in their heart, they would love to do what's best for their children. It's when they feel there is no means for them to do that, that they kind of collapse in their parenting. So to boost them up, to keep that from happening, that's God's work. I mean, that's just, you can't do it better than that.